From brutal hip checks to refs getting murdered, these are the 20 most brutal hits in NHL history. And first, the time Dan Hamhuis sent another player on a ride. Because during a close game of the Stanley Cup Final, Lucic went against Hamhuis, and the rest was history.
Horton to Milan Lucic, ducked it in and then took a big check. Dan Hamhuis went down and...
Now, even though the Bruin players went after Hamhuis, that hit was so brutal it even got himself injured. But at least dude didn't almost kill another man, like our 19th moment. Because even though Lucic took it deep before, his hit against Mike Van Ryn was close to assassination.
Going into the corner, but oh, there goes a pane of glass on a gigantic Lucic hit. Mike Van Ryn on the receiving end of that, and that'll make...
Yikes. Dude had cuts all over his face. No wonder fans were going wild. But to be honest, if there's anyone that's wild, it's gotta be Alexander Ovechkin. You know, the crazy Russian without any teeth. Usually he spends most of his time getting on the score sheet, but this time, he had his eyes set on a different target.
Wilson tumbles it towards the zone, but Schmidt turns it away, and then Ovechkin throws a thunderous hit.
Alex Ovechkin has 78 hits coming into...
Yeah, bro literally laid Nosek out, and not a single one of his teammates were out there to back him up. That might be worse than the actual hit. It's one thing to get taken out by Ovechkin, but imagine getting hip checked so hard you start doing circus tricks.
Johnson to clear. Duchesne upended by Orlov.
What a hip check. You rarely see them anymore. That might be the best one.
Oh my god. Bro literally did a front flip and no one even cared. But what if I told you one player made a hit so badly, it got him sued? See, a few years back, in a game between the Nashville Predators and the Calgary Flames, every player was heated up. But things got a whole lot more interesting in the second period, when Wideman got hit with a nasty tackle from the back. Now, I don't know if the tackle ended up dazing him or what's going on, because what he did after almost cost him his career.
And then the linesman down at center ice. There was a collision there between one of the Flames. And Don Henderson is down.
It was after that things started to take a nasty turn, because Wideman didn't only brutally cross-check the referee, he also showed zero remorse for the incident. The referee in the league obviously took that personally, and you could tell things were about to get nasty. The league handed Wideman a 10-game suspension, and the ref took legal actions claiming he was so busted up he wouldn't be able to work for years. But the judge ultimately came with a wild ruling. He told the referee straight up, "You were only cross-checked, man up." Hell, the ref was even forced to pay Wideman's legal fees. That's a huge L, man. First getting smacked from behind and paying him? That's wild. But not as wild as Torrey Krug, because one second he's down without a helmet, the next...
Body wide, without a helmet, Torrey Krug, angry as can be about the battle he was in, and threw a big...
God damn. Without a helmet? That has to be one of the cleanest hits of all time. But it can't beat knocking your opponent and the ref with one blow.
Pawns it off there. Oh! Ovechkin destroyed Route 2. Alex Ovechkin wasn't too happy to lose his balance, so he...
Wow. Bro had his cheeks all over the place. But imagine getting hit so bad you get clowned by the entire world.
And the vision is pretty good. Said not too bad.
Yeah, there are areas,
perfect.
right? Yeah.
And Lundqvist was knocked down
By Eakin.
He sold it. Look at that. Look at that. Never get to see his hair on the ice, that's why.
Man, that hit was so clean, even his teammates started clowning him. But at least Lundqvist got to keep his hair, so he could make all them commercials for Head & Shoulders. Because one guy has become such a villain, companies won't even get close to him. It was the Stanley Cup Final, Knights versus Capitals. And both teams knew they had to play their hearts out. I mean, it's the Stanley Cup Final. Players knew. There's no time to fuck around. And in the third period, with the score all tied up, Tom Wilson did this.
Marchessault, Riley Smith. Marchessault's down here, hurt and needs some help, and so the play is stopped.
Oh my god, that was brutal. Pro really said night-night, but in all seriousness, that blindside could have sent Marchessault straight to the hospital. So it's no surprise that the whole stadium was losing it. The NHL eventually released a statement saying they weren't going to suspend Wilson. Are you serious?
What happened on the Tom Wilson hit?
I have the puck. I mean, try to make a play. I see that puck going away. A couple of seconds late, and
mean, I don't really have to talk about it. I think the league's going to take care of it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Seems like the NHL will let Wilson keep pulling these brutal hits without any suspensions. One player almost got killed.
Side of the zone. Oh, Pacioretty is down face first as Chara angled him, and Pacioretty was...
Dude literally shoved him into the bar and didn't even have the decency to check on him afterwards. That's crazy. But not all hits need to be life or death. Nicholas Kronwall shows why he has Wall in his last name.
Stepping up, Owen Kronwall with a big hit.
Oh, boy.
Oh my God! Bro told him to sit his ass down. And now that we've reached past number 10, let's take this to a whole new level. And what a better way than to start with a time Trevor Linden sent one player out the stadium.
So that's where the Memorial Cup got underway today, with Brandon defeating Hull 9-2. Pane of glass taken out in the corner, and the St. Louis player was knocked right into the crowd.
The hit in itself was brutal, but you gotta be proud of Trevor, who actually tries helping Norton out of that messy situation. Hitting someone through glass is cool and all, but one player had the balls to go toe-to-toe with Alexander Ovechkin.
And Ovechkin flanks Marchand. Talk about a major collision here. Marchand gets it and steps up in front of Marchand. And then Pastrnak with the hit from behind on Ovechkin. And then Marchand finishes.
I don't even know what to say. Hitting a toothless Russian? Bro has a death wish. Anyways, for number 7 is a hit I just can't explain.
Spiza around for Larson. Hall and him lined up, and he belted him, and Larson's down and maybe out.
But it's not even the hit that was dangerous. It was the aftermath that was scary as hell.
Oh, man. Yes, there was.
That was honestly a close call. Bro was out cold with skates that close to his neck. Crazy. But not as crazy as number 6, where one player made such a dirty hit, it had everyone losing their shit.
Looking for Cousins there. The old big hit on Goodbranson. He's going to get back.
The craziest part was that this hit had Cousins' fear for his life, cuz Goodbranson made it his life decision to get his revenge. I don't know if it was his Viking roots, but man was on a mission.
Goodbranson goes right after Cousins, grabs him by the head, throws him down and starts throwing the punches. Oh man, that's brutal. But you gotta hope Cousins is okay.
That's a suspension right there.
I mean, grab by the head, slam to the ice, and then punch numerous times, and Cousins is down.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eric Branson had no...
My God, man. I was literally beating the living shit out of him.
So first of all, the hit by Cousins is extremely dirty. So we've been talking about this forever. You can't hit from behind. And not only does he hit, he launches himself at Goodbranson. So I understand why Goodbranson is extremely mad, and I understand why later he went after him and fought him. I don't get why he's given a suspension and nothing happens to Cousins. This is something that I think the league has to address.
Can't believe they didn't suspend Cousins for longer. That's wild. Not as wild as number 5, because remember the wall?
And that one went off Leno's stick and wide. Oh, man! He's out. And then an extra hit came from Bufflin, and a crowd gathered.
God damn, bro was out cold. But for number 4, we gotta rewind the time. It was Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final, Boston versus Vancouver. And with Vancouver winning the first 2 games, Boston knew it was a do-or-die game. That's when everything changed.
Pass is on now for the control. Horton gave it back up to Lucic, and a shot. It's blocked aside, and down on the ice now. It's Horton.
This one's a whole lot of nasty.
See, that hit didn't just give Aaron Rome a 4-game suspension. It changed the whole outcome of the finals. Because that's when Boston realized they needed to go back to old school hockey, which eventually made them win Game 3, Game 4, Game 6, and in the final Game 7, Boston bounced Vancouver with a 4-0 win, securing another Stanley Cup. I never ever thought I'd see one hit change a Stanley Cup final. But at number 3, one player gets completely cleaned out.
Blues coming running back at Sundqvist.
Whoa!
As he gets cleaned out by Wilson. Sundqvist stays down. And a host of...
At least that hit didn't put Sunquest completely out, because at number 2, one player got blindsided so badly, they had to roll him out. See, David Booth had worked his whole life to reach the NHL, and what happened during this game would eventually change his life forever.
Here comes David Booth. He has the Panther goal tonight. Oh, did he get hit hard? Oh my goodness, Booth is down. I got hit hard up high.
Damn, Booth's face is blank, just laying there on the ice. That's scary. Not even Booth remembers the hit. Since that hit, Booth has had a lot of mental health issues, which eventually forced him out of the NHL. It's crazy to think how one hit can change not just your career, but your whole life. But even though that hit was wild, our number 1 spot is impossible to describe.
There first, the net is empty. Can he tuck it in? He does. Pays a price, but
Man, that hit was brutal. And no wonder the Canadian players lost their cool. But in the mix of it, there was one player that made this clip top our list. See, if you closely look, you see number 27. Yeah, that's Nikolai Ehlers, and what he's doing during this brawl is a one-of-a-kind. He sees that Jake Evans is completely knocked, and he's doing everything in his power to protect. Mad respect. What's even more crazy, though, is that Mark Scheifele had the guts to say this.
What your reaction was when you were informed it would be 4 games?
Yeah, I think it was pretty excessive. I wasn't expecting that. I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, Mark be smoking that weird shit. But you know who else is smoking that weird shit? You. Because you're still here just chilling when I got another video right on your damn screen. Click it. Come on.